Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Sketchat, where we're just hanging out, virtual studio style, and drawing.
Can't do that.
What are you working on there, Nick?
So the Samurex book actually has a puzzle in it that if you solve it, it's going to take you to hidden extra content online. So I'm trying to produce that content. Like some of the last stuff I need to do in conjunction with the book. So I'm just working on that now. I'm trying to figure out this bird creature thing.
That's nice. Can you zoom into that?
Excuse me.
So this is all just, I don't know, still, this is what I would call my thumbnails.
Gotcha.
Just, and like it kind of like make some stuff and move it around and try and figure out, but I'm trying to figure out what this bird looks like, because the bird is like, the bounty hunting clan that Samurex is a part of, their signature is a bird called the Epidrail, which is going to be this bird, but it's going to be based on like a real like crazy telepathic space bird. So just trying to design that.
Sure.
That's cool, man. I like that robot in that panel. To your right.
Yeah, I totally freestyled that. I don't know, I'm getting
nice.
Yeah, looks good, man.
That sort of stuff. I want them to have like, it's like wearing necklaces and stuff. Like a lot of
bling.
Like a pimp bot?
Not really, just like this really old robot.
Yeah.
The robot's like, although it'd be cool if the robot had that personality. That'd be great. Like the robot kind of like, it's like a caretaker for the birds, sort of.
Oh,
okay. Yeah.
He's a bird bot.
I mean, he could be two things if you really wanted.
Yeah.
True. Although the idea is that they're on some kind of really obscure planet somewhere. So unless he's pimping the birds to other birds, don't know.
Well, it's that British nomenclature, birds. So
There you go.
What are you working on, Dio?
I just started a sketch. One more, probably one of the last sketches for my drawing tier. So another Wolfman.
Okay.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah,
It is awesome.
Do the Wolfman one and not the full wolf. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Yeah, one painting.
Yeah. Switch it up a little bit so everybody gets something at least somewhat unique.
Right.
Dash on this guy. Let's see how that looks. I love the zoom ins, man. As rough as I look, it's going to make me hit that treadmill even harder. So
Keep you honest. Yeah.
We'll call it fat cam. Love it. We'll have like a bell, an alarm. Yeah, dude. Once again, thanks for inviting me on, dude. It's a lot of fun. It's like I said, it's like drawing in the old studios with people. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the idea. Is just to kind of hang out with good dudes and just have a good time.
Yeah, for sure. My other drawing partner right now is being really lazy, just laying in bed all day, feeding a baby after a C-section. Come on, get up, dude. What are you doing? He's gonna come out and kick my ass if she hears that. Man. Any of you guys have kids?
Not me.
I have one son. He's 10 and a half.
Oh, nice. Were you in the room for? Well, listen. I'll just get to the point. C-sections are crazy.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
hole they open up in you. Oh my god, bro.
My wife did not have one, but
Okay.
it got dangerously close.
Oh damn, that's scary. Ours was scheduled, so it wasn't anything
Yeah.
emergency like, but to look at the baby and then look back at your lady, and it's props to these chicks, dude, that can deal. I'd be in bed. She's already up and about, you know what I mean? But I would be in bed for a long time. The way they stretch you open, it's nuts, dude. It's crazy. Modern medicine.
I've never seen a C-section, but I have seen that scene in Prometheus where like they have to cut open the girl and pull out like that squid monster.
Okay, so
like I don't want anything to do with that.
Even worse, bro, because there's like these stirrups that like stretch because the hole is not, the cut's not that big.
Yeah.
When you look, there's these things that are stretching her. It's nuts, dude. It's unbelievable. Like I would be in so much pain right now. I'm in pain just thinking about it.
Yeah, welcome, Jolly. We're talking about sketching and C-sections.
Yeah. Jolly knows. I've talked to Jolly messages about what's going on with my personal life. So what's up, Jol? Jolly's
Pull
the
up
man.
Google Images too to see if we can alienate everybody.
It's awesome. 0 viewers.
Miracle of life.
We have negative viewers somehow.
Even reported.
Hey, Jolly, I did see your email. I checked it out. Like your email thing is pretty cool. That MailChimp thing that you're sending out. That's awesome, man. I saw that interview with Narwhal. That was pretty cool. Jolly says, not a comic book theme. No.
Yeah, Jolly's gonna have a book coming out at some point in time. I'm not gonna say anything else, but yeah, it's I'm stoked to see that happening too.
That'll be cool.
Yeah, dude, I love all these. Like, I know just to touch on the whole competition thing, and I mean the market's there. I love seeing everybody doing stuff, dude. It's like this is what I think of. It's fun. You know what I mean? I'm not looking to be, some famous person. I don't want people to know. You know what I'm saying? Like I want everybody to succeed. As long as you're cool. But I love seeing all these new stories. Everything's different. Even people that are doing werewolf stuff, it's different than other werewolf stuff. Sci-fi. It's all cool stuff that you can all feed off of, man. And yeah, I love all the new stuff coming out that people are making. It's super cool. It gets me excited to create, and like, you know what I mean? It's like healthy competition.
Right.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. Like, I mean, that's what's cool about doing something like this with other folks doing the same stuff, and get you motivated and excited.
Sure.
And,
yeah,
it's very romantic to think about, being an artist locked away in your studio by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But like
that's the life.
That is hard to get through.
It is, and the cool thing about comics is we've growing up, I think we talked about this last show. The bullpen, you always assumed that it was like a real bullpen of all these artists, like working in like cubicles and whatnot. But there was studios like that later on, that were built upon that premise in the Marvel books, where everybody's working together in a studio, and you can look over and see what this dude's working on. So this is the modern day version of that, which is cool, man. And nobody's getting blamed for farting. You know what I mean? Nobody knows. So
that's right.
Once your microphone picks it up, just go mute if you need to. Though.
Just hit that mute button.
It's a really good microphone. Returning tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, I'm lactose intolerant and I love cheese, so throw the blame my way every time.
I'm right there with you, brother.
That's awesome. That's the pain we go through as men. Ladies will never understand.
They don't.
Okay, that's the other side of it, right? They have to be around us. And our love of cheese comes up.
Jolly says he's got a superstar artist set up for April. That is awesome.
Oh,
nice.
And newsletter interview. Yes, thank you. I couldn't find the term for it. Thank you, Jolly.
Hey, Jolly's hustling, dude. And another cool dude who's like just putting his time in, trying to help other people out, even though he has his own stuff working. You know what I mean? Which is just cool, man. Yeah, Jolly's a good, solid dude, man. One of these days I'll meet him and buy him a beer or whatever he wants.
Or cheese.
Yes, or cheese.
Cheese beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Your cheese soup. That's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Sim, welcome. Says hello, everyone.
What's up, Sim?
Hey, how's it going?
Charlie says I get paid in green beans. There
Heck
you
yeah,
go.
dude. I got
That
5.
sweet green bean juice.
Delicious.
I've never drawn the shadow, I don't think. If I have, it's been a long time ago.
You guys know much about the shadow? I've always been curious, like if that hand or that nose thing he's got is a prosthetic or not.
I think it just shows up when I don't know if it's I think it just shows up mystically. I'm not sure. I think it's like part of like, or is it prosthetic? I've only seen the movie. I was familiar with the comic just from the, in passing with pictures and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I think in the movie, is it a prosthetic? I can't remember.
I don't think so. I think it's mystical, isn't it? Like
That's what I thought too. Yeah.
a mystical nose that comes with a scarf. I don't know.
You can smell crime before it happens.
Yep.
Hey, smell crime. It's awesome.
He whispers into the night. He who smelt it dealt it.
Who knows? The shadows knows.
Dude, I think you should do like a parody thing.
Yeah.
We already got the catchphrase.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen that movie.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch it again sometime soon.
Was that like a late 90s?
It was I think it was the 90s, wasn't it? Early
I thought it
90s.
was. Was it early 90s?
I'd say, yeah.
Yeah, it came out around the same time as like The Phantom with Billy Zane came out.
Yeah.
Like they were trying to make those pulp heroes
Yeah.
movies.
That movie actually was pretty good. Like it's aged decent, The Phantom.
Yeah, I like that.
Probably 4 years ago, something like that. It's still pretty good.
I always loved that Shadow movie.
Yeah. The Alec Baldwin played the shadow.
Yeah, I think it is. Sim says it was 1984. There you go.
Oh, okay, cool.
Man, time flies.
Yeah.
1994. Yeah, that sounds about right.
It was like the only good Alec Baldwin movie. That might be true.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a sucker for Alec Baldwin.
That cool voice.
I don't know, just he's like Tom Cruise. Like you always know what you're gonna get with Tom Cruise.
Right.
Like, and I think that's I think that's his biggest draw.
Yeah.
It's just consistency. You're gonna get Tom Cruise. Doesn't say much about his acting chops, I don't think. It's just,
Well, it's like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone. You do also kind of get like the same idea of what you're going to get.
Yep.
It's always entertaining, though.
Yep.
I mean, you can say the same for Keanu Reeves.
It's true. And I'm all about that. Like, I don't know. When I sit down, like, I mean, I haven't seen probably the last 3, but I mean, I was all about the Fast and Furious movies. like, because they're stupid, and like that's great. I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need a thinker a lot of
Right.
the time. Like,
Yeah,
I
there's
just,
nothing wrong with dumb fun, man.
yeah, let's push cars out of cargo planes with parachutes on them, and then like
Shoot them into space in the next movie.
yeah,
Jolly says, I watched The Departed and Arrival yesterday.
Arrival was
amazing
an
movies.
awesome movie. Yeah. Really like that one.
Machine one?
Arrival. Is that the one with Jeremy Renner?
Yeah, it's Hawkeye and Lois Lane. I don't remember the name.
Oh,
Yeah. That's Dennis.
Denny
what's his
Villeneuve.
last name? Yeah, Villeneuve, whatever his last name is.
Villeneuve.
wasn't there another movie called The Arrival with Charlie Sheen about aliens?
yes. I'm
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
sure it's-
Okay.
I remember
that one was exceptionally forgettable. Although if I had to choose between the two, I'd probably choose to dig that one up
that.
because of my aforementioned movie interest.
Sim says,
Yeah,
I'm surprised we
dude.
never got a freaking sequel to The Shadow, to be honest. Love that movie. Yeah, man, it's a great movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
A lot of
mean,
fun.
Alec Baldwin's been killing it.
Literally.
Literally.
Oh, that's all right. He meant well.
That's what he aims to do in every movie he does.
Yeah, he's a real straight shooter.
Yeah, he is. I did like him in 30 Rock as the boss, the idiot boss. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a pretty good actor, though.
I'm a sucker for him in Boss Baby.
Mhm.
Can't say I've seen that.
The animated movie.
Jolly says, I stand behind Alec Baldwin all the way.
Oh.
That's always a safe bet, Jolly. That's funny.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
We're being too loud.
Oh,
Yeah, calm down.
I was hearing my neighbor's dog bark. Thought you guys heard it too.
Nope.
I hate that thing.
And we live in town, but we've done pretty well for a long time. We've never really had a whole lot of barking dogs, but all of a sudden recently, somebody moved onto our block or something, and they got a dog.
Never fails, dude. I've told this guy. I don't want to say what I've told this guy on stream. Yeah, I finally had it out with this. And look, I'm gonna say it. I'm a fat man right now. This is a fat motherfucker, though. Pardon my French. I'm sorry. But yeah, I told this guy what's up. He'd leave his dog out for 12 hours at a time, dude, and it barks alarm. He's finally shut it up. But yeah, dude, yeah. Needless to say, the last conversation I had with him, he was like, "You're crazy." I'm like, "You're goddamn right, I am." Like it was. He just drove me nuts, dude. Like Son of Sam type shit.
Wow.
It's just terrible dog owners, bro. Like if you're gonna have a dog, you know, you don't leave it outside for everybody else to deal with. But Yeah, dude, barking dogs, terrible owners, and you have kids, which is, I'm sure they're raising them the right way too. They won't be an issue for us later on in life. Crazy.
Yeah, but how do you really feel?
I told my lady next time I have that conversation with them, record it. You put it online. You guys can see how I feel. I just can't stand that stuff, dude. It's the worst.
He's
And like we
probably
live in a neighborhood with
on this stream.
What's that?
I said he's probably our #1 fan on this stream, and he's gonna get his heart broken.
Yeah, right. He's probably watching.
Never buying your comic now.
He's watching it just to report it. Yeah, this guy is the worst, bro.
He's sitting there eating Twinkies. Oh no!
He's one of those like he walks around like he's like big, like he's tough, but like he's got Tyrannosaurus Rex on him. I'm like, yo, bro, don't even.
6-inch reach.
Oh, 100%, dude. Yeah, so funny.
Ollie says, "Yo,
Ollie?
Hey, Ollie."
Yeah, I feel your pain, brother, with that Nick with the dog in Tampa.
Ours isn't too bad though, honestly. It's
like I don't care if dogs bark. Like we had dogs barking before, but like you would leave them out for like all weekend, dude. Like literally all weekend, and then he'll leave them out there in the daytime all day. It's like, yo, like that's just a terrible owner. What is your dog? You don't love your dog if you're doing that type of stuff. And who's the alpha at that point? You know what I mean? Like, anyway, I'll go talk to this guy now. I'm getting worked up.
Goose Fraba." You guys reading any comics?
I'm gonna disappear here for a hot second.
All right.
Just proofreading my, or not proofreading, but rereading my comic, my proofs that came in.
Oh,
So I'm happy with it. Beat myself up over it over and over again.
Yeah.
The way to do it.
Yeah.
The only way to make it good is to hate yourself.
Seriously. But it's like one of those things where it's already like at the printer, and it's like, then you're just like, oh man, you're just giving yourself a headache for nothing at that point. It's like it's already done. You proofread it as much as you could.
Do you go over your story until you get kind of sick of your story and you never want to see it again?
Yes. And
I do that.
But then I'll still pick it up to look at it to be like, okay, yeah, you're right. It's to the point of sickness, but you're like still checking it out, just almost like torture yourself. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But yeah, you're right. To where you're just like sick of it. It's like bands that play the same song. Their biggest hit. You're like, oh, they don't want to play that shit ever again. So over this.
I think every writer goes through that. I think after so many rewrites, you're just like, I'm just sick of this.
Yeah, for real.
We've got a special guest joining us.
Ooh.
What's going on, Preston?
Not much. What you guys up to?
Just hanging out. Let me put you on solo layout. Preston is doing the cover for Tricks or Treats Volume 2.
Oh, nice.
And he's working on it right now. Look at that.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Oh, heck
Like
yeah.
they had some pretty cool stories in there, actually. Yeah, the next one you do, let me know. I'll talk to Brian. We'll go ahead and come up with something for it.
Cool, man. It's looking awesome. Thanks for joining us, dude. Appreciate that.
No, it's not a problem. I got to do more of this kind of crap. I've been lagging on it.
So cool. Preston, this is our first time meeting, but do you know Dionysius?
Who?
Do you know Dio?
No, I've never met you before.
Dionysus, the Egyptian god of no, the Greek god of wine. Is that
Yes.
right? Yeah.
And the Greek guy of mustachios.
I did not know he was the Greek god of mustachios.
No, just the Greek guy of mustachios.
Oh. All right.
Nice to meet you, man.
I've seen Preston's artwork around, and he does some really killer covers. And I wanted a good one for our next anthology, so I had to reach out to him and be like, "Hey, dude, draw me a cover."
Heck yeah.
I
Man.
love doing horror. Like that's one of my favorite things to do. And chicks with big boobs.
It sells.
It does sell. And it pisses people off too.
What'd I miss?
Preston Acevedo is with us. Do you know Preston, Nick?
Hey, so
You there, Nick? Maybe not. Yeah, you did a cover for it came out on a Wednesday, didn't you, Preston?
yeah, it was a lot of fun. Pete's really cool about that. Like he's just like do whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? Like, like I think he said he wanted a night. Just do me a night. I'm like, all right, cool. And then I thought it'd be cool to put a bunch of other stuff in there. And I'm a Misfits fan too, so I seen an opportunity to put the bat from their first album in there.
Oh, yeah. So, Preston, when you do a painting, do you is it all acrylic, or do you do like mixed media?
I only use acrylic when I'm doing on canvas.
Okay.
Other than that, it's watercolor. And
Awesome.
Cool.
like the reason why I never played with watercolor in the past is because I thought it was kind of a shit type of paint, because everything I've seen other people do with it, but like it was really washed out,
Right.
and it wasn't very vibrant or dark or anything like that. And but when I started playing with it, I started playing with it with mixed media at first, and then like combining it with oils and then combine it with acrylics and seeing what would happen. And then I realized, like, if you just pile on enough watercolor, like, it's going to be vibrant. Like, you don't have anything to worry about when it comes to that type of stuff.
Are you guys impressed with Doc Martens?
PH Martin. I use PH Martin liquid watercolor.
Mhm.
Problem with that is that PH Martins, and this is something I learned from what was his name? Arthur Sweetum or Saddam, either one.
Mhm.
We had like long talk in the middle of a convention floor about just paint, because I was a huge fan of his heavy metal days.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And he was telling me that he stopped using PH Martin liquid watercolors because like they faded too quickly in sunlight.
They
Like,
do.
they washed out.
But I have some piece, from like, I want to say almost 20 years ago that wasn't in the sunlight, and it's still bright as day. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. As long as you can keep it away from sunlight, I think you're pretty good. So whenever I do like a cover or something like that, and I did use PH Martins, I would send out like a card with it on how to take care of it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, cool.
That way it doesn't wash out quickly or
Right.
anything like that. Because a lot of people don't know how to take care of original artwork.
Yeah.
You have to be careful with it. Kind of like like old comics, you know, like don't hang it on
Yeah.
a wall in front of a window or anything like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you guys paint, or you stick to pencils and ink?
I don't paint anymore. I used to, but yeah, I haven't done it in years.
Yeah, I haven't painted in a while. I used to do oil paintings when I was in college. And
Yeah. I used to do oil too, and but I want to do live demos at cons, and so I couldn't do oils because my car would be destroyed.
Yeah.
Because they do not dry quickly, and
You drive around high.
yeah, I had to switch to acrylics, and like I haven't, like at that point I hadn't messed with acrylics since I was a little kid, you know, and I was like, but like the problem with acrylics was that they dry really quickly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I had to figure something out. So I started mixing my acrylic paint with oil, and to make it last longer, and it worked. At first, I checked out the internet and I was like, let me see if other people played with this. And everybody was like, don't mix water and oil. Yeah, stupid. And I was like, well, if everybody says I shouldn't do it, I probably should give it a shot.
Right.
And then
Sim says, isn't there a protection to finish or protecting finish to put over it to protect
you
it?
can use a UV clear coat, but that doesn't always work. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
And would you really want to chance it, like after spending like hours or spending like $1,000 or $2,000 on a piece? Would you really want to go ahead and like hang it in front of sunlight?
Right. I remember when I was a kid, we used to use Aquanet hairspray to protect our drawings, you know, so they wouldn't
I
smudge.
still do that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I still do that. It works. It works pretty good. And actually, you can still erase with it, but it stops it from smearing like really
Right.
easily. You know?
I think that's still part of the supplies that you're supposed to get for drawing too, or something like that in college.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so. Because I had to buy some for whenever I took drawing too one time ago.
It works, and it's not as toxic as the stuff
Yeah.
they're trying to sell you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I used to get something called what was it called, liquid, for my my oil paint, so it would dry closer to acrylics because I was always more comfortable with acrylic.
yeah. I tried the extenders they sell over at Hobby Lobby and stuff like that, and they didn't work. They were just overpriced.
Yeah.
No, it was overpriced garbage. In fact, it made the acrylics more transparent.
Mm.
You're looking great, man.
Hey, Nick, do you draw everything like on a separate layer? Or
Lots of times.
lots of times?
And then like I just kind of like merge a layer later. I ink it all on one layer. Like I say, this is like my thumbnail process is kind of like to like draw the stuff and then move it around until it's the way I like it.
Yeah.
More so than doing a bunch of little like actual thumbnails.
Right.
Save you some
Oh, what's that?
saving yourself some time instead of, you know what I mean, doing it twice.
I mean, maybe, I don't know. I'm definitely not going to claim to have the secret sauce or anything like that.
Sometimes, like, I'll, instead of doing like thumbnails, I'll just do like little drawings and then lightbox it all together. You know what I mean? Instead of like,
Oh yeah,
which is like, you know, I mean, if I start doing digital stuff, I'll do it that way, which I am looking to turn over to digital pretty soon.
yeah. I want to do more traditional. I want to try and get back to it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, digital's just been too convenient because I have a Surface Pro tablet and I feel like we're on the go all the time. So
It's awesome.
it's a lot easier to just take that and be able to work on stuff. If I'm, if we're at my in-laws or if we're at a t-ball game or
Yeah, you don't have to bust out the inks. You know what I mean? It's just,
yeah,
I think digital's great, dude. I have no qualms with it whatsoever. I think it's an awesome tool.
Sim says, don't forget to hit that like button. Yes, thanks, Sim. Like, subscribe. So, Dio, are all your issues already written or not yet?
Yes. No, already written, just not drawn. But issue 4 is done. I'm just waiting to start on issue 5. I started some thumbnails for it, but I haven't really gone full blown into it. I just want to get this issue out, issue 2 out, and then Duel's already finished coloring issue 3 for the most part. She's got to go in and do some, some detailed stuff. But yeah, everything's written. I just have to draw it. Writing's not easy, but when it comes to, because you can always re-edit. You know what I mean? Once I pretty much draw like a skeleton issue of dialogue and whatnot, and then I tighten it up when I'm done drawing it, and maybe even switch some stuff around. Well, the drawing part's always the bigger pain in the butt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all written.
That's cool.
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah. Jolly says, hey guys, Clip Studio Paint 3.0 just came out and it's 60% off. $142 for the EX version, which is the best version. Usually $237. Wow, that's a good deal. Preston, do you use any digital
stuff? I used to. I thought it was a great tool at first, and then so I was like, wow, you got to buy paper, or ink or anything like that. And then I realized, like, I was spending way too much time, like, doing APs. My OCD kicked in, and it was and that's bad to have a magnifying glass while you're doing artwork in your OCD.
Right.
So I had to quit doing digital. I had to go back to doing traditional.
Yeah.
But I like traditional because you make more money.
That's true, because you can always sell the original.
Exactly. And the one thing I am thankful for digital for is that people don't expect to get the original artwork anymore.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was fun while it lasted. It's just that I realized that I'm just not suited for it.
I totally get that too. Like, I have, my biggest issue with like digitally inking is staying on a consistent scale and using the same size brush, and then like something's like really fine and detailed, and something else is like.
That was also a problem. I know exactly, because when you're inking it by hand, you know exactly what the end product's going to look like. When you're doing it on screen, you're like, is this line weight going to be thick enough?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let me see
Yeah, I think we talked about that last week. With digital, you can tend to zoom in and spend a lot of time on detail that you're just going to lose when you shrink back down to 100%.
Yeah, like an iris. You know what I'm saying? Like I would spend hours on an iris.
Yeah, I'm sort of stoked. My first digital piece, I knowing that when stuff gets shrunk down, you're not gonna. I didn't spend too much time on the stuff that you wouldn't really tell unless. But then when people are reading PDFs, that sucks because they'll zoom in on stuff that should be small on print, and they're like, "Oh, this is a terrible drawing." You're like, "Yo, dude,
Right.
Well, that's just silly of them.
Yeah, but I mean, I've heard it before. Somebody was like, "Cool guy," but was like, "Yo, his hands are all weird." I'm like, "Yeah, but it's tiny when you print it out."
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's readers. They don't necessarily know.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way, but you know what I mean. Like I didn't hold it against them. I just never spoken to him again. No, I'm just kidding.
Happened to be your neighbor.
Yeah, I talked to his dog now. Stop, Sam. And you guys have anything fun planned for the weekend?
Yeah, banging out pages.
That's fun.
I'm trying to get to the point where I can get a decent amount of my own IPs out. And,
Nice.
To do that, I got to carve my way through a bunch of other people's work to get the bills paid.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll be coloring a lot this weekend.
Nice.
Coloring for our stuff, Tricks and Treats, and also Mark Mulgrave has a book coming out. I don't know if you guys know Mark.
He's a great dude, man.
Yeah.
I love Mark.
Yeah, he's got a project that he has me on. It's pretty cool.
The horror one?
Yeah, I think it's called The Well.
Yeah, The Well. Yeah, I'm stoked, man. Really excited for that.
Yeah, I launched Samurex on Mark's channel.
Awesome. He's a good dude.
Yeah, he's been a good friend to me in the book, for sure. Supposed to have the sample print of the book on Monday, finally.
Awesome, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's a great feeling.
Super excited about that. And we'll get any necessary final changes and get it rolling.
How many pages is it?
So the comic story itself is like 36.
Good.
And then there's also like there's like 2 pages. It's like a prose written story, backup story I wrote. And then there's also a bunch of pages of like making of.
That's awesome, man.
'Cause
36 story pages is a good chunk though, man. I like that.
Yeah.
What book is it?
Samurex.
Samurex?
Samurex. It's about a futuristic bounty hunter. You know, kind of like Mandalorian-esque, but
cooler.
cooler. But he looks more like a samurai, sorta.
All right, sweet. Is it on Fund My Comic or is it on Indiegogo?
It's on Indiegogo, so it is still up there for now for purchase.
Let me go check that out. Looks cool. Looks like Death Said a little bit. Like
Oh shit, that side, yeah.
digging the colors too. It's almost like a blacklight poster.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I coloring's kind of my thing. Although I'm not.
Hey, we'll see you later, Sim.
See you, Sam.
Too bad.
Man.
Yeah, Nick is an awesome colorist. I don't know if you've heard of Red Koi.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's the colorist on Red Koi.
Oh, sweet. Is Red Koi still with Alterna? Or I know he's been trimming a lot of fat over
It's
there.
like Alterna associated still. It's not going to be a regular title, but it's going to finish up as a graphic novel that's kind of like, it's still connected to Alterna. And I'm supposed to be, if you're familiar with the that first Swan King comic that Tyler did, it's black and white. I'm actually coloring that for him, and I don't even know if that's going to be included in the graphic novel or if he's going to do something different with that or what. But I let the cat out of the bag. I'm not sure I was supposed to tell anyone that.
You heard it first here.
Exclusive.
I'm gonna clip it and post it on X. Tyler's awesome. He's a good dude.
Tyler is really awesome. Yeah. Love working with him. And it's just so cool too. Like every time he sends me something new, like my mind like implodes. It's just like his level of getting better, just page by page, is so cool.
Yeah, he posted some pages not too long ago, and I was just like, "Wow, this is Tyler." Like, not the Tyler I remember from like issue 1 of Red Koi. Like, he's just exploding in talent now.
Yeah, just really, and just like on that last issue with like the two huge birds, with like the alligator and the crocodile guys.
Yeah,
like and like flying through, like so cool. Like I got that page and I'm like, what? Like I'm not really. Sorry, go ahead.
Ben, top favorite werewolf movie?
Ooh, that's a good question. I got to think about this.
All right, Justin,
Don't
Yeah.
want to answer too hastily.
top favorite werewolf.
What was that?
Hmm.
It was that English movie where all the soldiers were
Dog
fighting a bunch
soldiers.
of werewolves.
Oh,
Yeah,
Dog
dog soldiers.
I still haven't seen that one. I do really like American Werewolf in London, right? It's where they have the iconic transformation scene.
100%. Yeah, that's one of my top faves, man, as well.
Yeah.
Dog soldiers reminded me of Wallace Portacio's version of
Wetworks.
werewolves.
Wetworks.
Yeah, Wetworks. Yeah.
Yeah, man, I was so excited for that as a kid, Wetwork, but it just was like, I like the artwork, but Dog Soldiers just reminds me of Aliens with werewolves, which is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I so wanted Wetworks to be like, I don't know, it was good, but as a kid, I was just searching for that iconic werewolf story. Did he ever
I
finish
was
one?
excited for Wetworks.
Yeah, I
But
was
then
too.
4 months later, when it still hasn't come out, I was.
I guess I dropped off at the right time then. Maybe that was part of it too. Yeah.
Have you ever seen The Cursed?
Which one's that?
It's about this soldier comes to investigate an animal attack.
The
And
Cursed.
they reveal at the end that it's a werewolf.
It's a Hulu movie, right?
Yeah, it was on Hulu.
Ginger Snaps was good too. I like Ginger Snaps.
I like Silver Bullet's one of my favorites too. The werewolf's not that great.
Yeah.
Stories.
Great story.
What's the? I haven't seen it in 100 years, but it's like the third movie in a series, a werewolf series, and like the werewolves are like
The Howling?
Marsupials?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the Howling Marsupials. Yeah.
Yes.
That's so funny, man. Yeah. I
And they got like the video of the actual like thylacine. What the heck are they called?
Howling, man. They were supposed to make another adaptation of it with what the hell's his name? Andy Muschietti, the guy who did It, Mama, Flash most recently for Netflix. But yeah, it's died out. I wonder if that's because of all the stuff that's happening with DC right now. But I'd rather see that than him do Batman. That's a really good werewolf movie in years, I would say.
Yeah, there's not too many.
Of course, the Wolfman's like the original, right?
Oh, that was good. Yeah.
I didn't mind the remake either.
So with Benicio del Toro?
Yeah, it's a little bit of a guilty pleasure. The sad part about that is that they had the guy who did the original effects for the transformation in American Werewolf in London do practical effects, and then they scrapped it and just went with digital, which is like,
Oh, that sucks.
yeah, it's just gone, which is a bummer too. All right, favorite rom-com.
Same answer.
What's that?
Same answer.
Awesome.
I'm gonna say The Mummy with Brendan Fraser.
Hey, that's a good rom-com. Yeah, dude, for
There's
sure.
nothing wrong with that, yeah.
Brendan Fraser got kind of a bum rap. He was he was a pretty good actor. He was I don't know.
Yeah, Hollyweird, right, man?
He's pretty good in what is it? That DC series.
Oh yeah.
Control.
Yeah, Doom Patrol. Yeah, he's pretty good in there. I like it.
Forgetting Sarah Marshall's always really funny for me.
Dude, that's a great movie, dude. The Dracula play.
Yeah.
What's his name? Who's had a whole turnaround with his career?
Aldous Snow or something.
Yes, dude. That's That's a great. He's great in it. What's her name is great in it too? The blonde chick. Bullshit. Sarah Marshall.
Yeah.
That's a great flick, dude.
All right, a couple more minutes and I got a blast.
All right, bud.
Yes, same here, unfortunately, but I'm going to be pretty much done with this, I think. Gotta go check on the babies. A dingo ate my baby.
Dingo ate my baby.
Yeah, I can't wait till she's a little bit older and I can spend a little more time on here and with you guys.
That'll be cool.
Yeah, I'm
Like
stoked.
18 more years.
What's that?
Just like 18 more years.
No. Luckily,
Yeah, right.
as soon as the constant feeding is over and Mama is all healed up, then it should be a lot easier.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, 18 years. Yeah, in total, yes. Like you were saying earlier, as soon as she's old enough to hold a camera, she's gonna be my camera pro. The other one's gonna be a sweatshop colorist. So
There you go.
things are looking up.
I mean, that's why farmers had kids.
Yeah, for real. Why not? Right?
It's different thing.
Yeah, my littlest, well, not no, the oldest one who's 3. She's actually, dude, she's doing really good drawings. It's pretty insane for like her age, what she's doing. And and I'm not like the doting parent. I'm gonna be like an artist and be like, oh, this sucks. But no, she's actually pretty good. Like, oh, sweet, dude. Here's my story. Wow.
You knock this out by Tuesday. I'd appreciate it.
You want to eat, don't you?
Yeah, exactly.
You like McDonald's, right?
Be like Michael Jackson's dad, just stand over with a belt.
Yes.
That anatomy, right?
Get to
Singing, kid.
Yeah, exactly. Almost done.
All right, gentlemen, I'm going to take off, but thanks for having me, and I totally want to do a bunch more of these.
Cool,
Nick,
Nick. Yeah, man. You are welcome
Great.
anytime.
Samurex,
You're
dude.
good.
It looks great, bro.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yep. And those of you watching, Samurex link is down in the description. Go check it out.
Sweet. Later, guys.
Later, Nick.
Take it easy.
So, Preston, you said you want to work on your own books. What kind of stories do you have in mind?
I want to continue the Doc Salem IP. I have the story almost completely written. I need an editor to go back and fix all my misspellings, and because I'm really good at drawing pictures, not words.
Hey, Don, but I'll shoot you a link later. There's an AI editor that's actually pretty cool too for spelling.
And non-devils, like I teamed up with Brian Kriskow would do non-devils, like reimagine my
cool.
non-devils comic series. And also we're putting out a Hell Knight book, and it's kind of like Ghost Rider, except it's kind of like a combination of Etrigan Ghost Rider and Tome and Hellstorm. You know what I'm saying? Like
Nice.
he's
Cool,
got like a trident, you know, and he rides a Harley, and he's a demon. So, and so that story's finished. I just got a thumbnail that. The hardest part for me is thumbnailing, is to getting everything to look right.
Right.
You know, Sim was handling up on my thumbnails for a little while, and like it helps, even though I never stuck to it. Like exactly what he put down on paper, like it helped, like put the puzzle pieces where they had to go.
Right. Gives you some direction.
Yeah, because yeah, like I mean, I got a bunch of like fucking shortcomings when it comes to like as far as like I can't like besides having ADD, I also had problems like focusing, you know. So
Yeah.
that's what that is, right? Like ADD.
Yeah.
And so like I overfocus on some things, but like when I read a book, I have to go over it a few times before the information, you know, absorbs, because I also got dyslexia, you know, and shit like that. So, but I found the program where you can put the type in and it'll just read it back to you like an audiobook. So that helps a lot. And because I was making like bad mistakes, like when I was doing other people's books and shit, because I would misread the script, you know.
Oh, gotcha.
And so, but yeah, so it helps with stuff like that. And yeah, thumbnails are the hardest part to get done with.
Those sound like fun projects.
Yeah, but I got so caught up like doing other people's stuff, like I forgot about doing mine. You know what I'm saying? Like, and but I think it was a good thing because it helped me get better, you know, and a little bit quicker on doing work.
No, I've been there where I wanted to work on my own stuff, but I had like so many offers. So like, hey man, you color my book, and
Exactly.
I have a hard time saying no.
Yeah.
Especially when it's people I know. I'm like, yeah, dude. Like, really don't have time, but I can't say no.
Well, if it's a fun project too, like Vaughn put out that Kataro Witch Hunter, and I was like, dude, you gotta let me do something for this. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, and then Lit Devil, like Lit Devil's one of the few writers where I could say like his first Doc Alpha, like the artwork in it to me was terrible. You know, I was like, this is horrible. But I backed it anyway because, you know, I was like, let me see what Lit's writing style is like. And his writing was so good that I didn't care about the artwork. Like, I was like, God damn, this is good, dude. And so when he was looking for another artist and he asked me to go ahead and do it, I was like, yeah, I'll do it. And he like amped up the violence on that next book like crazy. Holy shit. And but yeah, it was a blast to do it. But yeah, some project like in that Wesley Snipes thing, like I begged Adam. I was like, dude, you gotta let me do something for this book. You know? Just one cover, just as a bucket list type thing. And that turned into a big thing. So I was like, oh, cool. But yeah, and then, you know, so I kind of create my own problems when it comes to shit like that.
All that stuff looks great, boys. Ben, that's awesome, dude.
Oh, thanks, man.
Justin, that's great.
Oh, thank you.
That's awesome. Guys, I'm going to take off. I just finished this guy.
Yeah. Let me put you on solo layout here.
Oh, that looks so good, man.
Thanks, brother.
Oh, sweet.
Good job.
Thank you.
There we go.
Nice.
So what are you using to ink again?
What's that?
What are you using to ink again?
I'm using these weird things, Oahu. I don't know. My girl got them.
Yeah.
This brush, this paintbrush, brush, and one what are those Copic 0.003 to ink with, but
okay.
Water, but
that looks great, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, that looks awesome. Love that.
Yeah, dude, I'm having fun drawing on these with you guys. It gets faster and faster too, which is nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you guys want, if anybody wants to sign up for issue 3, it's going live on April 5th.
The link is in the description as well for that.
Awesome, dude. Thank you for having me, brother. If you're doing this next Saturday, I'm here again. So, and like I said, the longer or the faster that my kid gets gets to be able to feed and not, whatever.
Right.
Actually hang out longer and do some more stuff. But yeah, it's a blast with you guys. I'm having fun, dude.
Yeah, same here, man.
Awesome.
Great to have you, man.
Dude, thank you. Always good to see you boys. Ben, Justin, it was really nice to meet you. And Doc, your real name is?
Preston.
Preston.
Yeah.
Nice to formally meet you, brother. And if I see you on Twitter, I'll shoot over that AI editor that's sort of nice for picking out misspelled words.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Yeah, save you a couple bucks too.
Yeah.
All righty, boys. Have a good Saturday, man. Ben, thanks. Justin, thank you. I'll see you guys.
Yeah. See you later, Dio.
Yeah, good.
Let's see what you got going on, Justin. Put you on solo here.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Is that
Working
from,
at it.
Under the Sea?
Yeah,
Or
it's
Across the Sea?
Yeah. I think I'm running out of ink in this thing. This is brand new too.
Oh, wow.
Well, I can still hear it chugging around in there, but yeah, it's from Across the Sea.
Nice. Like it. Let's check on Preston. Oh, dude, that's looking awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude.
Trying to get across that violence.
Yeah.
Good job. Very energetic.
Yeah. Lots of energy. Powerful looking. I love it.
Really great composition too.
Yeah, I don't take in consideration the logo. I leave that
Yeah.
up to you guys. Like, I can fit it in wherever you can.
Right. Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
a terrible cover artist when it comes to taking in consideration the logo.
Right.
Do we really need the logo? Do people need to know what book this is?
It's on the spine. You can read it there.
Yeah. Just open it up. It would be a fun ride.
There you go.
The name will be on the campaign page. They'll know what they're backing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's looking awesome. Love it.
Good job, man.
Thank you.
That's what I got going on. It's my Shadow Batman.
Sweet.
Oh, cool.
It's commission?
No, it's just for fun. I put a poll out to see which sketch cover, because I got like a ton of sketch covers hanging out, and I just haven't done anything with them. So
I've like when you watercoloring over that, you know how we were talking about a hairspray?
yeah.
It actually works on that cheap paper to kind of coat it before you start
Oh.
putting watercolor down. And,
Okay.
it helps it not fall apart.
Yeah. This paper just really drinks that water in.
Oh, it's horrible. It starts
It
coming
is.
apart too. Like that heavy metal 300 cover. I had a bunch of those, and I had some commissions to do on them, and it was just like trying to keep the paper together long enough to get the painting done.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they can warp pretty bad too if you got some juicy ink.
Yeah. I had to take this down. Yeah, I've got this Noodler's ink, and that's what I'm using instead of watercolor.
Yeah.
Just watering it down. We must be the quiet artists. We're like not saying a word now.
Yeah.
You get into these zones sometimes. I don't know if you're like this. You just get into the zone where you're just like everything around you just kind of out of focus, out of mind, and you just really zoned in.
You know, the hardest part about doing these streams, like I like doing them on my channel anyway. And the thing is keeping the audience entertained while you're drawing. And
Right.
like playing music and stuff. Like sometimes your video will get taken down because of copyright issues and all kinds of shit like that. So it really is an issue.
So Preston, what's the first book you ever worked on, man?
It was called Puppet Terrors by my buddy Jesse Woplowski. He made the mistake most writers do, and he paid his artist up front, like all the money. And he so his artist ran off with the money and never finished the book. I think he got like 3 or 4 pages done. And usually what happens with that stuff, it's not like they just run off with your cash. It usually starts when they start talking shit, and they, and then they find a reason to disagree with you about stuff, and then, before you know it, they quit, but they're not giving you a refund. And so he advertised to have another guy come and finish his book, and I was like, I'll do it. And he's like, yeah, but you never did this before. I was like, yeah, but I won't run off with your cash, And finally, I think it took like 2 weeks for me to convince him to let me do it. And I told him, I said, look, dude, I was like, don't pay me a dime until the book's finished, And then and it's a practice that I still do. Like, I don't take any money until I at least have a few pages done, or I'll do I'll do payments, like especially with covers. With covers, it's like quarters whenever I'm doing a painted cover, or thirds. So I get a third up front. If we've never worked together before, I get a third up front, and then it's payments after that. That way, there's always a set goal to get past.
Right.
It's never like, well, I got all the money now,
Yeah.
Because usually what happens is the artist will spend the money on bills or whatever, but then that money's gone, and he still has this big job to do, but he can't waste time doing that job because he needs other things to pay him so that he can make it through the next week or two.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's how it starts. So I never want to fall into that situation. So that's why I never, tried to take all the money up front.
That's a good practice.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I color a book for somebody, I tell them, look, I'm going to turn in like 2 or 3 pages at a time. And you just pay me for those 2 or 3 pages, and we'll just creep along that way.
Exactly. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I had other people like try to sneak money to me. I know this sounds weird, but like all of a sudden there'll be a deposit, and I'm like, whoa, what's going on here, dude?
Right.
And like, it actually irritates me because it screws me up, because I like keeping track of how much money I have coming in from week to week or month to month. And
right.
When I'm finishing a page and it looks like I'm dependent on that money, and then I go back and it looks like they paid me without me asking for it.
Right.
I'm like, goddamn.
Yeah, no, I've heard too many stories about either the artist running with the money, like you said, or the other way around, where the artist does the work and then never gets paid.
Yeah.
So
the deal is that as the artist, like, you hold all the cards. Like, don't give them the work until you get paid.
I worked for a publisher that didn't work that way. Like, they wanted me to do the work, so I did, and then they just never paid me.
A lot of sketch card companies are like that.
So yeah, I had to call them out on social media. I hated doing it.
Yeah,
but I needed my money.
Well, I can't remember which sketch card company it was, but I did a bunch of Rick and Morty cards, and they didn't pay me, and they owed me like $1,000. And so I was, you put your request in, they're like, okay, well, it's going to take. Then I found out that they took the money they were supposed to pay their sketch card artist with, and they invested in another IP, So I was like, this is bullshit. They're trying to get out of paying me. So I posted in their forum that I was trying to get other artists up for a class action lawsuit against them. And it was all bullshit. Like, I never had a lawyer or anything like that.
Right.
And but they paid me. because they didn't want that type of smoke. You know what I'm saying? Like,
gotta do what you gotta do to get paid.
yeah, it's a big hassle, dude. And that's the last time I did any more sketch cards because I was like, no, this is bullshit. You know? It's the biggest racket ever. I used to do like 110 cards or 120 cards or something like that. Well, Rick and Morty's easy. You know, it's like a super easy cartoon style. And but yeah, but the deal is that you only get like $2 a card or something like that, you know? And like they expect these cards to be fully painted or colored, you know?
Right.
And then the ones they reject, they say they destroy, but then you see them on eBay later on and stuff like that. So
that's a total scam.
Yeah. And that's what they tell you, like, hey, I know we're not paying you a lot, but you can also sell the originals on eBay and make a lot of money. But you know, I don't know. It's a total scam. Yeah.
So where the artists inspire you?
Who, me?
Yeah.
There was a bunch. You know, I was fortunate because like doing cons, because I had to do the con circuit for a while, you know, to kind of pay my dues or whatever.
Right.
And I got to meet like most of the guys that I was inspired by, like Angel Medina, you know, and I got artwork from him too, which was cool. And King Kelly, and then I found out King Kelly was actually Frank Frazetta's nephew, you know, and they had a big rift between the two because they were both going for the Kiss contract at the same time.
Oh.
Yeah, and I became pretty good friends with King Kelly, and then I found out, like, out of nowhere that he passed away.
Oh.
Yeah, it was like Frazetta, as far as paintwork goes, like Bisley, Frazetta, Corley, you know, guys like that. And Sweet'em, as far as like illustration, like again Bisley, but also Angel Medina, because his cartoon style was second to none.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys, any of you guys formally trained, or you're self-taught?
A mix of both. Both my brother and I went to you know, not art school, but we went to college and took art classes. Texas Tech.
Did it help, or did they like try to retrain you to kind of do things the way they wanted it done?
I mean, it helps. You know, it gives you structure. It gives you the knowledge behind like why certain things work. But they certainly can't teach you to draw. I mean, that's not something anybody could do. That's something you pick up on your own, of course. But I guess they teach you the science of art, in a manner of speaking, right? Because they're teaching you design, using space, all that kind of fun stuff. So there's definitely some usefulness to it, but I don't think anybody needs it.
I heard like the Kubert school, you know, like everybody was saying like if you went in there with a style, like they would like kind of like the military, you know, like they would try to break you down and go ahead and reteach you the way they're used to doing it.
It's interesting.
Yeah, when I was taking my classes here at Tech, I felt more like they were pushing me towards like, be a painter, be an abstract painter. Don't paint people. But
I
that's
hate abstract so much.
yeah. Yeah. Well, like most of the professors are abstract painters, so they were kind of pulling everybody in that direction.
Yeah.
So I always felt like, well, that's cool and all, and these are pretty colors, but it's not really what I want to do.
Well, I made the mistake of telling somebody at a community, like an art teacher at a community college, that I was into comics, like drawing comics. And they're like, well, that's well, then, when you're ready to be a real artist,
Yeah. Yeah, they definitely
I'll
turn their
draw
nose
you
up
under
at
the
it.
table.
Yeah.
For a while there, I want to be part of that, and so I actually hung out with a bunch of people from a gallery, and
Yeah.
a bunch of art. I was like, these motherfuckers are broke. Like they it's just like they all these artists, like they just go to coffee houses and blow each other's ego up.
Yeah.
Like nobody actually sells work, and I was like, this is crazy. And they suck. Like they take like newspaper clippings and paste it to a canvas and then paint around it. I was like, the fuck kind of bullshit is this? It's nuts, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, I always did like my oil paintings were usually of like comic book characters or fictional characters, and my professor would always give me a hard time about that, telling me how illustration is not real art.
It's crazy. Like I don't understand why that came into existence. Like how people started seeing comics and illustration as like not real art. Is it because it's commercialized? Because
I think to them it doesn't mean anything, right? It's not saying
There's
anything.
No deep, philosophical meaning that you can derive from it.
Well, that's another thing too. Like hanging around these guys and going to a couple of gallery openings. Like I would sit there and I would listen, and figure out what the fuck was going on here. And it seemed to me like if you have to convince people that your art's good, maybe it's not as good as you think it is. Because it was almost like each one of them was a salesman. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
If they caught you looking at their work, they would have to come up to you and explain to you why it's good.
Right.
Do you have any idea how smart I am for making this painting?
Yeah.
It's a derivative of blah, 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 blah. Dude, shut the fuck up.
I just felt like art history was kind of like that. Like that's the whole point of it is like they're doing it without the artist there. So they're just like, you don't know that that's what the artist meant. Maybe he just wanted to paint like a nice tree there.
Exactly.
Trying to give me like a really deep explanation for why something is the way it is, but like, oh, I've painted stuff before. I know for a fact you just put things somewhere because you need, the composition needs it or something, not for a philosophical reason.
Exactly. Like I don't know, and that's what somebody told me too. Like unless you can start like vocalizing, like why your art's good to these people, you're not ever going to make it in the art industry. Like, then I'm just not going to make it.
I'll be fine with that. Yeah.
It's a very, I don't know. It just seems like a big Ponzi scheme or something like that, like a big con.
Yeah. I remember I had a TA ask me like, so what did the painting tell you? That that you knew it was done. I was like, because it's done. It's like it doesn't talk.
Say it's done.
That's right. I am the master here.
If your paintings are talking to you, maybe you need to go seek professional help.
Exactly.
Been using too many mineral spirits.
That's right.
So you guys do this every Saturday? Like
Not every Saturday. Like next week, I've got an interview with a writer So I won't do a draw stream next week, but the week after I will. Thanks for hanging out with us, man. Really appreciate you coming on.
Oh, no. I got our stuff like this. Part of like doing and getting work is making sure you're always in public eye, you know.
Right.
And I don't think I've like with the holidays and all the bullshit that happened with that, like I was severely lacking on making my presence known, I guess.
Yeah.
And then sometimes like I don't want to deal with the hassle of turning the camera on. I just want to go ahead and like do some like draw.
Right.
That's kind of a bad thing. Like you really shouldn't do that either. Yeah. How was your sales on last year's or your last trick or treat
The first
anthology?
book, yeah, the first book launched like 2 years ago,
Yeah.
and I think it wasn't that great because we're like nobody really knows who we are,
Yeah.
and I think we did like 12 or 1400. It was
Okay.
1200. I think it was 1200. So we did.
That sounds right. Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, we weren't really out there. Nobody really knew who we were. I think I had like 90 followers or 80 followers on Twitter.
Yeah, y'all should do way better this time around.
Hope so. That's the plan, right? Never want to go backwards.
No. It's all about the process though. Like if you followed a formula of, running a successful crowdfunder, it usually works out. Like you pre-campaign months ahead of time, do your promotion and all that kind of stuff.
Right. What got you into comics, Preston?
I was I came from a really, really bad home, I guess. So I was raised by one of those guys that was like, "You're not going to be a pansy. You're going to do what real men do," and shit like that. So I was my first well, my uncle was he was a wildlife artist, and he was really, really good. He was a terrible businessman, and he ended up being destitute because of it. So my parents were like, "You know, you are not going to grow up to do that." So they did everything they could to kill what talent I had, and so I wasn't allowed to have action figures, for one thing, or any type of toys like that. Yeah, and so my first exposure to like actual fantasy artwork was heavy metal albums, you know, and stuff like that, and cartoons, you know, and so that's where I kind of learned how to do stuff was like from you know like the Somewhere in Time album and stuff like that. And then like a guy I knew was selling comics on the school bus, yeah, and every month I would was it every month or every couple of weeks? I would give him like $20 and he'd give me a stack of comics.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And so then I realized like they actually made toys and stuff too, right? So I would go and like I wasn't allowed to have them, but I would go in there in like I think it was Kmart at the time. I don't think they're open anymore. And I would like memorize what the characters look like and go back home and draw them, you know. And it was like Masters of the Universe and stuff like that, GI Joe,
Right.
and I guess that led to me doing this type of stuff. And then after that, I realized there was like people who do comics, like actually people who get paid to do this stuff for a living. And so I would you know, it's really fucked up because some of the books I had were like really expensive now, like the first appearance of Hobgoblin and stuff like that. Yeah, and I
Yeah.
totally destroyed every last one of them. And but yeah, that's pretty much how I learned how to do stuff like that, like draw comics was from heavy metal albums and comics I bought off a school bus. And then I realized like there was actual heavy metal magazine, you know, and it was over after that. I was like, dude,
Yeah.
this is the greatest thing ever.
Did your parents ever catch on that you were
Yeah,
getting into
well, my
comics and
mom
stuff?
found out I was buying comics off the school bus, you know, and she was like, because she was like, how much of an allowance do you have left out of all the money we gave you over the last couple of months? I told her 0. You know, I spent it on comic books. Then I got off the school. She's like, do not tell your dad that because it'll beat the shit out of you. You know? I was like, all right. Yeah, because I mean, any excuse that man had to put a whooping down,
Yeah.
he used it. So it was crazy. Yeah,
It's rough, man.
yeah, it is what it is. Yeah,
Right.
if that wouldn't have happened, I wouldn't be, you know, doing stuff now. So, but how'd you guys get into it?
Justin, I'll let you talk, man. I haven't let you talk at all this stream. I feel like.
I've been I got ASMR stuff going on over here. It's like raining. It's nice.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm zoning out myself. I'm all right. I mean, I'm paying attention. I just like it's real easy for me not to talk anyway. No, but I got into comics because Ben got into comics. Honestly, he's my older brother. So yeah, that's kind of where it all started.
Are you guys brothers?
Yeah.
So yeah, it came home. I don't know, one of those days, and he just started drawing in one of his notepads, and I was like, well, all right, let's see what this business is about. It looks fun, so I picked it up and kind of been drawing ever since. But I think the first comics I had were probably like GI Joe, Sonic the Hedgehog, just like whatever I could find on the quarter bin, because at the time that was when the cheap comic cost was like a quarter.
Was it it wasn't a type of thing where you're like, oh yeah, Ben, I can do it better.
No. It was the type of thing where I was like, dang it, I suck. Like Ben's doing this real easy. I gotta work harder at this.
So it definitely wasn't a fuck you, Ben, watch this.
No. Not then, it is now, but before no.
That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I used to watch those GI Joe cartoons when I was a kid. You know, Transformers. You know, all the '80s great cartoons that were around
Dude,
back
it was
then.
fantastic. Yeah.
And we're from Texas originally, and so I remember going to an HEB with my dad, and he would go do shopping, and I'd go hang out at the magazine section. And back then, they carried comic books, and so there was a GI Joe comic book, and I asked my dad, I was like, "Can I take this?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, sure."
I used to do tons of conventions in Texas. I love Texas. Texas is badass, like Houston, San Antonio, and places like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a blast. I had so much fun up there. I got hooked up with a bad indie publisher in Texas. You guys ever heard of CCP?
No.
That's probably a good thing. Like they were, they told me they were a comic publisher, but what they really were just a print factory. Yeah.
But yeah, that's how I got into comic books. I brought that home,
and you spread the plague.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, then I got into superhero books from there. Like Spider-Man became my favorite superhero.
I was never really a huge Spider-Man fan. I was always Ghost Rider or Thor. I was always a huge Thor fan. Like I got the when I started collecting comics again, I went ahead and got the first 100 issues of Thor. Yeah. When, and a few of the ones in the 90s when I was still journeying the mystery. And, but most of my comic collection was from trade outs for artwork and stuff like that. So it sounds like I didn't really spend a lot of money on that kind of stuff. I just traded.
Right.
For a while there, I was doing like superhero family portraits, because I was like, this sounds cool. And I made a little bit of money, like a few grand, but the biggest thing about that was I got a copy of Vampirella #1 on a trade out to make a guy and his family look like the Fantastic Four.
Oh, okay.
So
That's cool, man.
yeah.
GJ says, "Good afternoon, fellow artists. So what a nice surprise to find out Preston is doing your cover for Tricks or Treats Volume 2. Awesome. And yes, Texas is incredibly awesome."
Yeah, Mr. Martinez is a really good guy.
Yeah,
He's been following me for a while.
So yeah, GJ, you're gonna get a Preston Acevedo cover this time around. Honestly, I'll probably make it into a poster as well. Do a print.
Do what you want.
We're gonna slap it on a T-shirt. We're gonna slap it on a mug.
Get a tattoo of it on my back. Whatever.
We're gonna sell tattoos. Yeah. So Swan King is being colored. It sounded like it. Yeah, Nick's not here anymore, but it sounded like he is. Yeah, honestly, at first I wanted to be a comic book writer. Like that was my goal. And then I read a Wizard magazine interview with Rob Liefeld, and something about that interview, some stuff that he was saying, and I don't even remember exactly what back then. But it's just something just triggered me, and I was like, I want to be an artist instead. So I just started drawing more.
I always wanted to be an artist, but for some reason I can never get the like the panel work down. It wasn't until way later that I was able to like do panel work like quickly and successfully.
Yeah.
You know? That shit's harder than it looks.
Definitely. Yeah, it's one thing to like knock out a nice, what would you call it, like a pinup or something, but yeah, to tell a story visually and knock out panels, it's a chore.
Yeah, pinups that's easy work. That's nothing. Covers too. Like when you're doing panel work though, like the trick is to make every page look like it could be like a pinup or a cover or something like that.
Yeah.
Then I guess you have to, like when I learned on that, it was like every page can't be a winner.
Yeah.
Some of them are just there to tell the story.
Exactly.
Yeah. Just a mood page or a mood panel or something.
Exactly.
Yeah. GJ says, well, that's also nice, and hopefully it is true. The Swan King is an incredible character. And Tyler is one of my top artists as well. Yeah, Tyler's awesome. Good dude and great artist.
Have you guys been published by anybody? Like, were y'all part of Alterna too, or was it?
No. I just I met a lot of the guys, became friends with Spencer Desmond and what's his name? Wynn? Ryan Wynn. I was gonna say Anthony Wynn, but I knew that wasn't the right Wynn. And just started hanging out with those guys and Rob Geronimo.
Yeah, Rob's cool. I like his. He's definitely completely into his universe.
Yeah. Blood Ram is a cool book. But no, we're self-published.
We got a new puppy. It's
Oh, yeah?
I don't know if you guys can hear that, the whining in the background.
No, I don't hear it.
Oh, good. Okay, sweet. And yeah, don't worry about it. It's fine.
I
Oh,
get
no,
the
you're
messaging.
on cue.
Yeah.
DJ says that's an awesome werewolf. Yes, it is. Let me put you on solo layout here. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, it's coming out pretty good.
That is beautiful.
It's all about the little minor details.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Decorations and stuff like that. I like doing werewolves. It's one of my favorite things, besides Frankenstein.
Dude, yeah, I love Frankenstein.
Yeah.
I've got an idea for a Frankenstein story and just haven't had time to knock it out.
See, that's the thing, is Tom.
Yeah.
Finding time to do all this kind of stuff.
DJ says Preston is going to do something for me whenever it gets close for the next King Cryptid fulfillment. I picked him as an artist for one oversized sketch card.
Oh,
Awesome.
that's right. Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's kind of a cool thing. Pete came up with, like, just posting a commission
Yeah.
rather than being like, here's the sketch cards, pick one.
Right. State are you in, Preston?
What's that? Oh, Louisiana.
Louisiana? Okay.
Great food and great crime. Better crime. One thing I enjoyed, like one of the shows, like fell right on Halloween that I used to do in Texas, and when I used to go to it, they would always have the Day of the Dead festival happening up there.
Oh, yeah.
That was a blast. I used to try to head out early so I could go catch some of it.
Sounds like fun.
You guys never did that? Like,
No. No, I think they had that like maybe like in South Texas, but not where we were at, I guess.
what state are you guys in? I mean, what city?
Well, we grew up in Edinburgh, Texas, which is south of San Antonio.
Yeah.
And we moved up to Lubbock, Texas when we were a little older. I think I was like 18. And we got Art of Roy. Hail.
Keep going, man.
Dude, I've been digging your Cyberfrog stuff, man. That's really nice stuff. And I saw you did one recently for Shane. That looked fantastic. Yeah, we're artists, man. That's why we're so chatty. That's how we do. So, Preston, you into reading any comics right now?
I'm actually trying to catch up on a lot of the stuff that I backed. I just got through reading Hammer. Yeah,
I've heard of that. Is that any good?
it's pretty good. I mean, it starts off really good when he's into the mythology and stuff like that. But then I don't know. It just feels like, and this, I guess this isn't a knock. Yeah, I guess it could be perceived as that, but it just gets like slow, after that. What was the other one I read? Robert. I finished reading Robert by Boogie Bot, and that one was really good. Like really, really good. And one thing I didn't know was that Boogie Bot actually had a job doing comics before he got it mixed in with CG and stuff like that. Like he was doing work for some indie comic studio. He was doing pretty good work, and I think that's where he actually came up with Robert the first time.
Okay.
Um,
What was the title of that book again?
Robert.
Okay.
It's about a robot. Actually,
I think I do remember that. I think I remember
it's
seeing
really,
that
really good. I enjoyed the shit out of it. And then there was another one. I can't remember the guy's name, but it was called Nord. That's what it was. And it was about a Viking king, and it was advertised on Etsy, and I picked up a copy of that, and that was super good. And that's one of the few guys that does digital that I can actually say was like, it didn't feel like generic digital artwork. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
let me see if I can find that. And yeah, just been catching up on reading. You know, I have
Nice.
I have a ton of books to get through still.
Art of Roy says, thanks, those were fun to do. Basic boring static figures. Yeah, but they looked good, man. Baffle him with BS and lots of lines. Pretty much, man, but you did a good job of it.
All right, found it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, this was a trip, dude. This book was insane. I was like, holy crap. And Like,
They're like the
so it's this
Steelers.
Viking, yeah, it's this Viking king that goes against Loki, and like he put a lot of detail into his work too. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah, I was about to ask if the pages look like that, but they do. That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's a hardcover, I want to say, that I got from him. And then so I was so impressed with this that I got another book from him too. Like it was out of print, but he said he had an extra one. And it's called The Needle Man. I don't see it in here. He doesn't. Let's see. Yeah, I don't see it, but it was really good too. It was like kind of like a futuristic city where it's all slave labor and stuff like that. And then
Okay.
because I got both of those, he sent me a copy of Pix, and that's his like illustrations of Batman and shit like that, like other stuff that he did.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a really good read.
That's really
The
cool.
artwork was spot on.
Yeah, it looks awesome. Justin, Roy wants to know what the yellow instrument of destruction is.
If you can read that, you tell me, buddy. I got this in a Jet Pens sample pack. But yeah, it's like a little felt tip pen kind of thing. It's not too sensitive, but it's kind of it's a slightly bolder line than this little bear pen that I have. That I also got in either a sample pack, or I think that might have been from Art Snacks. I really don't remember. Sometimes they send the same kind of stuff. So, but yeah, it's pretty neat.
Nice. Is that like a medium point, or is it fine?
It's probably fine. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I like the tentacles on that creature.
Yeah. They're coming out all right.
Yeah, that's badass.
Nice chicken on Preston here.
Just doing some more detail work.
Yeah, dude, it's looking beautiful. I'm loving it.
That's awesome. Yeah, that arm kind of reminds me of like Dave Finch, the way he does like the veins, like you can feel like the skin stretching over the muscle.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, the striations of those muscles.
Yeah, it looks brutal.
Oh yeah, Roy wants to know if that's archival pigment.
I believe it is. Yeah.
Yeah, Preston, this is looking awesome, man. It's amazing.
It's coming out pretty good. It's not too bad.
I'm my own worst critic, but I think this is genius work.
This is
Fingers
the
always
best thing I've ever
those
done.
artists.
Fingers have always been a pain in the ass, especially women's fingers, because you got to make them look all sensual and shit. Like the more detail you put into it, the further you're going from female fingers.
Exactly. Less is more when it comes to women.
Yeah.
Some of them can have man hands though, if you really want.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's awesome, dude.
Looking great.
Thank you.
GJ says, every time I see Preston's drawings, it reminds me of why I fell in love with his work. Details are pretty nuts. Yeah, man. It's looking amazing.
The devil's in the details.
Preston, do you have a go-to artist for inspiration? If you ever like feel a little stuck or need to be inspired?
I usually like if I'm having an issue with like the function of a muscle or something like that,
Yeah.
I keep a morgue file of just arms, like bodybuilder arms and stuff like that, so that I can get
Okay.
it right. I've learned a long time ago, like if you try to memorize anatomy, it's not going to work out. So,
Right.
like, there's just too much to keep in your skull, like especially the mechanics. The mechanics are a bitch. And so yeah, I always have that. And I don't know, dude. Like I mean, sometimes I just search it. Like when I'm looking for paint colors, sometimes I just search the internet for like to see what palettes people are using, and if it'll fit with what I'm doing. Yeah, the internet's a wonderful thing.
Yeah. Jay wants to know, Preston, how is the remake of Nine Devils coming along, if I may ask?
Pretty good. I've been posting a lot of stuff on Twitter about the like page updates and stuff like that. The problem is that right now I'm at a point where I can only work on it after I get 5 pages of somebody else's work done. So so it's kind of a pain in the ass. Like I'm only like averaging about 5 pages a month on Devil, if that. And so yeah, it's slow going at the moment. And I don't want to launch the campaign until I'm about 50 to 75% done. Because I don't want that money sitting in my account.
Right.
When you guys launch campaigns, like how do you do it? I mean, do you wait till you have the book done, or are you working on it while you're
Yeah, so with our first book, because I mean that's really our only experience, most of the stories were already done because we had previously self-published them as single issues. And so what we did was we put them together for the anthology, and I was working on one short story that was only like 7 pages. So it wasn't it didn't take me but like 2 weeks to knock that out. So yeah, I mean it was probably like 95% done when we launched.
Nice. Yeah. I think that's how it has to be though. You know what I'm saying? Like
I think nowadays, because so many people have been burned by campaigns.
Yeah. And then some campaigns deliver, but they delivered like years after they were supposed to deliver.
Right.
And I don't know. Like I just I'd rather it just be done, or very close to being done.
Right. Yeah, like right now, we're starting to work on a book that's not going to come out until October 2025,
Jesus Christ.
I think.
25, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we're getting trying to get ahead of the schedule.
Yeah.
GJ says, I enjoyed the first issue and I'm looking forward to new characters and updated art. If that will change.
Yeah, no, I managed to get out the first chapter while I was caring for my dog. The second chapter I started thumbnailing out, and I'm also got a couple of pages of Devil's Tales, which is a bunch of short stories that I'm not going to be illustrating. I'm just going to be doing the thumbnails and passing on to other artists to go ahead and do. And yeah, and then I also want to start working on Doc Salem too, and that Hell Knight story. I'm trying not to put too many irons in the fire, but I don't think I can not do that.
Yeah.
But I'm dreading running another campaign because there's so much work. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Because it
that's
requires a
another
lot of your
job.
attention and time. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to promote, and it takes away from time that you have to actually work on stuff. You know?
Right.
I actually thought about floating it under somebody else's banner and letting them handle all the fulfillment and just like splitting the cash, whatever, something like that. I don't know.
Right.
But that's a commitment too, because then you got to really trust the person.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
When you guys fulfill, do y'all do it as a team since you're brothers or something like that? Or
No, because we lived in separate states. Like my brother's Justin's in Texas and I'm in Oklahoma. So I did it all. But, I mean, we're not talking about a huge campaign.
yeah. Was that the biggest campaign you guys had so far? Was 1400?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it was our only. It's been our only campaign so far.
Yeah. Hopefully, there would be a new president in the White House when you do run your campaign.
Right? That would be
make a ton
awesome.
of more money. Because I've
Yes.
noticed once he left office, so did all the people that were backing projects.
Yeah. Yeah, like the economy just tanked after he left.
Yeah.
Ben, GJ wants you to come back to Texas.
Oh. No.
Nah.
I'm good.
Yeah, like Texas?
No, I like Texas. It's just I'm just comfortable where I'm at. I'm not a fan of the heat.
The heat
and it gets hot in Texas.
Yeah.
Not that it's not hot here in Oklahoma. It's just a few degrees cooler, but I'll take it. I'll take those extra few degrees cooler. I go back and I visit every once in a while. Like Justin's getting married this June 1st, so I'll be there at the end of May.
Is the heat kind of like it is around here in Louisiana, where it's humid heat?
It depends on where you're at. If you're in South Texas, it's humid heat. If you're in West Texas, it's
Pretty dry.
It's pretty dry. It's a dust bowl out there.
Yeah.
But in Houston, it's pretty rough. It can be pretty humid over there.
Yeah.
Remember, I had a layover in Houston, and I got off the plane, and I was like, "Oh God, it's humid. It's hot. Can't wait to get inside the airport." And then got inside the airport, and all that really changed is that there was more people around me. It just got hotter inside.
Yeah, that humidity is a killer.
Yeah.
That's the worst part about the winters over here too, is that it doesn't have to be that cold outside, and it'll still like cut right through you.
Oh yeah.
I would love to move to Colorado.
I went to Boise once to go visit a friend up there, and it was like 45 degrees or something like that, and
Ooh.
we were in t-shirts. Like it was great.
That
There
sounds
was
awesome.
no humidity whatsoever. Only thing we had to watch out for was falling boulders.
Oh yeah. Hey Jesse, you need to send GJ an invitation to your wedding.
Yeah, come on down. Take all the fans I can get there. Try to convince my my wife I'm a big shot.
Can I show a nipple on this cover, or you want to keep it clean?
We'll keep it clean.
Well, this is the werewolf you're talking about.
The chick. Chick tied to both. No nipples.
No nipples here. Trying to keep it PG. PG-13.
Let's give her a little bit more hair over this breast. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get away with that by doing marketing as educational.
Yeah.
You can also watching their things pierced,
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
a bunch of different things.
Sounds painful.
Yeah, that's crazy talk right there.
So, Preston, do you always work with the writer, or do you write your own stories?
I like writing my own stuff. Whenever I like working with writers too, because not as far as like more along the lines of a collaboration.
Right.
Whenever I do projects with people, like the Doc Alpha and Testament, different things like that, it's always with the understanding that I'm going to make changes. Like if I don't think something's going to work out visually, it's going to be changed. And like most writers are cool with it. I only ran into one problem with that, and actually got me shadow banned from CG for a while.
Really?
Yeah, and you didn't like me making changes, and but it never even got to the parts where I actually drew the book. Like it was after reading the script, I was like, hey, I think we need to work on this, and this, and yeah, that was enough.
You.
I don't want to
Wow.
say that on air. It's it was a major player in this community,
Really?
and yeah, the but most writers are cool with it because they realize like they're writers. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
and they see things from their perspective. But as an artist, you're going to see things from a different perspective. Yeah, it's just crazy sometimes. Do you work with other writers, or do you just do your own stories?
I've worked with other writers. Like the last anthology, I think we had like 2 other writers that were friends of ours.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, most people are cool with it, and especially when you bring in something to the table and you're not like, just, I don't want to do this because it's hard to draw.
Right. Yeah.
Names. I wish I could, actually.
Name names.
It's pretty well known now, I'm pretty sure. Like within the people I hang out with, they know all about it. No, it's not Ethan. It wasn't Ethan. No. I've never had any really bad run-ins with Ethan. Like, everything was always kind of casual. No.
So that publisher in Texas that you worked with that was terrible. What did they do to you?
No, I was just, I made the mistake. One thing I've learned is that when you sign a contract, make sure to put stipulations. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they sit on the project for too long, then it reverts back to you, stuff like that. It was, and I've kind of learned that there's always going to be an inner circle. You know what I'm saying? Like there's going to be. It doesn't matter how much talent you got. You're not really going to be part of that inner circle. And with these people, it was the same thing. It was like the guy was he wanted to be in charge of booking tables and stuff like that at shows and all that kind of stuff. But then when you work the math out and you realize like you're sharing a room with like 10 other people
Ooh.
to do a show, and like and the table cost, and he was like, well, the tables are this, and you're not really getting a discount. But then later on you find out like he booked so many tables and he's getting a few tables free because he booked so many, and he's using that money so that him and a few other people from the group can go to New York City Comic Con. And I signed a contract with him for Rockabilly Road Trip, and so I thought it was a good deal. Like they were going to print it, it was going to be sold at shows. They were going to put it on their website, and it was a 3-year contract, and they did absolutely nothing with the book for 3 years. He kept saying they were printed and they were in his garage and stuff like that. I'm like, well, why are they here? And it was just a big clusterfuck. But it was a learning experience too about who to trust, who not to trust, and do some legwork before you start signing up with people.
Right.
And but fortunately, after all that happened, I got blackballed from mainstream, and so and then I realized like you don't really need a publisher, because everybody was doing crowdfunding at the time, and crowdfunding was actually doing really, really well. Like people were doing massive numbers on crowdfunding campaigns, and so like breaking away from those guys was easy, and there was a lot of lessons learned there too, but they were mainly in the prints, and we'll sell them at shows. You can make money. Just don't put like the Marvel logo on it.
Yeah.
It was good practice though, like to because you'd have a show over the weekend. You have to do commissions, and you have to get all those commissions done by the end of the show.
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah, you learn to get fast.
Yeah, you definitely learn to get good fast, and you can't like cheap out on the work because you're trying to get it done quickly because people aren't going to come back to you.
Right.
And you're right. Art and money is a toxic mix. At least for most people. Like they get drunk on the fame and the money.
Yeah. Yeah, the bad experience I had was with a publisher out of Florida.
Who's that?
That was a publisher out of Florida.
Oh, okay, cool. What was the name of the publisher?
Creature Entertainment.
What's that?
Creature Entertainment.
I never heard of them. What happened? Like,
I cleared some books for them, and they would just like delay paying me. They're the ones I said I had to call out on social media.
How long after you called them out did they pay you?
It was pretty quickly, like the same day they contacted me. And
Yeah. Squeaky wheel gets the grease.
yeah. Yeah, they wanted me to be their house colorist, and they kept pushing, like, "Don't you want to be published?" Because I kept like saying no. Like I had that bad situation with them. I was just like, "No, I'm done with you guys. I don't want to do anymore." They're like, "Come on, don't you want to be published?"
All the cool guys.
Yeah. I mean, by this point though, I had already been published by Dark Horse, and
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't tell them that, but they were trying to make me feel like they were a big deal.
I had another problem too with a guitar kit company.
Oh,
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I ordered a kit, and they told me, they're like, no, 35 days. 35 days, we'll have it in your hands. I was like, awesome, cool. So paid them everything like that, and so 4 months later, I was like, where's my kit? And they're like, just wait. I'm like, it's been 4 months. And they're like, well, just wait a little while longer. I'm like, it's not a little longer. I was like, so then I emailed them again. They kind of ignored my emails. I was like, oh, no, we're not doing that. So every time they put a post out on Facebook about, build your dream guitar or whatever, I would post on their post. I'm like, hey, don't buy anything from these guys. And then they said, it would be in my best interest not to go ahead and make posts like that. And I was like, look, dude, I was like, I'm giving you 1 month. And if I ain't got that kit in my hands in 1 month, I will be a fucking plague on every post you make. They delivered.
Yeah, it sucks that it has to come to that.
It does, and that's one thing I realized that my uncle did wrong when he was a professional artist. You know what I'm saying? Like he would just let him go, and not pay him. And like you can't do that.
You can try to be nice, but the problem is that doesn't work.
Right.
Because then if you try to be nice, then they realize, oh, this guy's moved Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not lying about the original artwork, Art of Roy. They had a guy that used to go to shows and buy original art, and he thought he owned the rights to the art once he bought it.
Huh.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Art of Roy says, how many of your posted pieces end up on DeviantArt, all colored up and being offered as prints and coffee mugs?
I have no idea. I don't go to DeviantArt.
Me either. I left that place like 10 years ago. I haven't come back.
I knew one guy, and he claimed that he worked with a bunch of artists like Angel Medina and stuff like that, and he was selling the original inks. Turns out he was just downloading pencils
No.
from Google and selling them at cons as original pieces for
Wow.
a few $100s. And it was crazy. I was like, dude. And he had me fooled too, though, because I was like, oh shit, you work with it? And he had all these elaborate stories about the guy and all kinds of stuff. And then come to find out he was full of shit. Like the whole thing was just a big ruse. Yeah, you gotta be careful.
Art of Roy says did a pimp for a small indie way back in the 90s. The scumbag used it as an ad piece and 2 numbers.
Ooh.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying too. Like people who get commissions, and like this one guy, he got me to do a commission of all these different vampires, and then he used it as a book cover for his novel,
Mm.
And then and I was like, and I kind of let it go because I was like, I ain't gonna like hassle this dude. Like, I'm gonna have to make it clear, if he ever comes back. And he did. He came back and was like, hey, what about, can you do this? I was like, I don't think so, dude. I was like, not unless you pay me cover prices,
Right.
And yeah. Yeah, a lot of people don't. I don't know if they don't understand or they do understand, but they figure they can get away with it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. See, Art of Roy says had to wring the money out of him, then later he still used it again. Ricky Carolaro, High Impact Comics, Miami, Florida. Name names.
there's a law in the books in Louisiana, and it wasn't meant to protect artists. It was meant to protect blues singers and like blues guys, because New Orleans is a music city.
Right.
And but they never stated it was only for musicians. They stated like for artists, right? And a buddy of mine took advantage of the law because the law gives you like free representation if you have to sue somebody,
Oh,
and
cool.
yeah, so he had a problem getting his money from a small indie publisher like back in the day, and he went ahead and took advantage of that law, and they wrote him a letter and all kinds of stuff, and he went and sent it to the guy. And the guy sent him his money because he didn't want a lawsuit.
Right.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta really like use tactics. All right, guys, I'm gonna duck out and finish this a little later. Bottom half's done.
Let me blow you up before you go.
Sweet.
Still a layup.
Yeah.
Oh man, that is looking awesome.
That was a great job, man.
It's coming out pretty good. It'll be a nice cover. I don't know if you have it colored or not, but I'm planning on putting a few gray tones in there, a few splatter effects and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna color it up, dude. It looks beautiful.
Sweet. All right, cool. Talk to you guys soon. Y'all be good.
All right, thanks for hanging with us, man. There's my cover.
Hey, looking good.
Thanks. All right, let me put you on solo here. Nice.
Am I a little bit fuzzy?
No, it's clean and clear.
Okay. There's my screen.
Yeah.
Uh,
So layout. How's the cover stock holding out? It sucks. It's very warpy. Like I had to tape these down because if I don't, it'll just start warping on me. I mean, it's warping anyways, but
yeah.
yeah.
Now my fiance did some prints on some Batman covers for me, and she did it with I think a linoleum block or something like that, and even that like was too much. There was too much ink, I think, for the paper, and it started to buckle.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not great.
Which I guess is really just meant for pencils and some inks. It's not meant to hold a lot of water initially. It's whatever an artist brings to his convention appearance or something.
Yeah.
Have you used alcohol markers on these or no?
I have. Yeah. They hold out okay.
A little okay for it.
Yeah. Still not great. I mean, it's just the paper quality is just terrible.
Yeah.
I need to find my red ink so I can
Scarf.
do the scarf. Yeah. I'll probably have to do that later.
Yeah.
Or if I can find my red alcohol marker, I'll use that. All right, you ready to call it?
I think so.
Alrighty. Let me put you on solo layout. We'll look at it one more time before we go.
Alrighty.
Nice. I like the art you put on the back wall.
Yeah.
Nice detail. Very cool. Right. Let's see if I can move my camera here. Get it in a better angle. There we go.
Yeah, they're looking good.
Thanks.
I like that Batman. Kind of reminds me of like a Neil Adams Batman.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time. Have a good weekend.
Have a good weekend. Thanks, everybody.